All right, thank you very much indeed. That's Mohammed Al-Maskati, who's president of the Bahrain Youth Society for Human Rights. Ibrahim Shakir with me in the studio from the Brookings Centre. There's been an offer of talks from the Crown Prince tonight with the opposition. Has it gone too far for that?
The government has talked a lot, and now that we have seen the Crown Prince talking about dialogue, but if the Crown Prince is serious about the dialogue, and I think he should be serious because the current approach is certainly not working, and this just adds more grievances, to the existing grievances. It adds more issues to the conflict, and it exacerbates the situation rather than it resolves it. So we know that there are some political leaders in the opposition in Bahrain. We know that the Wifaq party withdrew from the parliament.
Is it simply that party, or are there others as well?
Well, there is Wifaq party is quite representative with 18 members in the parliament out of 40, so it has large representation.
Well, I should tell you, yes, we may have to interrupt our conversation because we're trying to get another of the Al-Wafaq MPs on the line, but we haven't managed to establish contact yet, so we can ask them about possible dialogue. What sort of things would need to be talked about?
Well, they would need to talk about the issues that the protesters are having, including some constitutional reforms in the country, some addressing the limit the access of certain community to certain jobs in the government. There are issues of infrastructure and services, especially in the remote areas, in the villages. So
it's not a rich country, is it?
Many issues.
If you are a Bahraini, you are not by rights rich, as you are in some Gulf countries.
Yes. It's true. It is, but we should also keep in mind that the unemployment is not very high in Bahrain, and Bahrain receives a lot of support. We know that it receives financial support directly from Saudi Arabia, and a large part of the budget in Bahrain is coming from Saudi Arabia, actually. There are talks of about 60% of the budget coming from Saudi Arabia. So there are remote areas in Bahrain that even the government, the police, they don't go to these places. So these people, they have issues, they have concerns, and they have representatives in the government. So sit with the opposition in the parliament, sit with the opposition and talk about these issues and dialogue.
How about we have a chat again in a couple of minutes after we've heard from Faisal Fulad. I had said it was going to be somebody from the opposition, the Al-Wafaq party, but as I understand it, Mr. Fulad, you're speaking pretty much behind what the government has been doing. General Secretary of the Bahrain Human Rights Watch Society. My note here says you are pro-government. So what do you make of what the Crown Prince said on television tonight?
Actually, we are NGOs, and we respect all the ideas. Even I respect this what you said. We support 100% the national dialogue head by his Crown Prince, and I'm sure we'll reach to some point will be the benefit of the country and benefit of the nation, and I think everybody will deserve a respect life, decent life, justice, fight corruption, all these things. I think by the dialogue, by sitting all together on a table, and there should be tolerance, should be transparency, and open for all the ideas.
Why, if that is what people will get, why have they not had those rights before now?
I think 10 years, it show many positive and negative. And I was always saying the reform make two sides, the reformer and conservative. Everywhere, and all reformer, there people will gain from the reform, and people will be scared on their all benefits. So I think the reformer, the people who support the King project wasn't the progress going very fast, and the patience of the people was in the end. And the conservative, they make since 2005 until today, many weeks of even the share of Al-Wafaq in the parliament, and we said about it.
Mr. Foulad, let me ask you this. The Crown Prince said on television a short while ago, we are not a police state, but we are at a turning point.
Yes.
Isn't it true that if you go past a turning point, it's often very difficult to go back?
I think Bahrain faced challenge more than this. If you go to the history of Bahrain since 1920 until today, Bahrain faced a challenge, I think, more than this, and Bahrain always united behind the royal family. This is our principle. The royal family always is there. But as the people, all parties, all the people, businessmen, workers...
But there are people on the streets chanting for the king to be deposed.
See, I'm telling you, there is call from the king and his son for national dialogue. If these people really, their heart and their feeling on the country, and they are really transparency with their demand, which is reformer, not revolution, I think they will get, and everybody, and they don't forget, they are part of the nation, they are not all the nations. If sectarian happen on the street, everybody will lose. Everybody will lose. So,
but why did the army today, why did the army need to shoot at peaceful demonstrators?
We concern and we worry and we condemn that situation. Everybody will condemn. But let's talk about today. After the Crown Prince, what he said in the TV and the order of the king. Let's start from today, from this point. If we ask about yesterday, and because even in the state, when Mr. Obama he came, he can say, oh, what Mr. Bush he done, Guantanamo, Abu Ghraib, all these things was in the past. So he started from today, and he said in his program and his candidate, change.
But surely the reason why he thinks there's a need for dialogue now is because he and the rest of the ruling family are terribly worried that this is getting out of control for them. They're scared.
No, see, 100%. I'm in the street. I'm everywhere. They are control. See, even yesterday when it was the support of the GCC for them, full support. 5 countries, even AlJazeera and Qatar also support Bahrain policy. But there is wise in the royal family. Always there is wise. I think we should support the dialogue.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm sorry to have to cut you short, but we've got a very tight timetable with David Mack, who's a former US ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, also a scholar at the Middle East Institute. Joins us live now from the US capital, Washington, D.C. Mr. Mack, Mr. Ambassador, listening there to what the gentleman from Bahrain Human Rights Watch was telling us, he is in fact a pro-government man, but he said the royal family does command a lot of respect, that it has a lot of support still in Bahrain, and that is very true, isn't it?
Well, I would say